Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. Today's reading is going to be a pick a card reading all around an energy checkup. So we're going to be finding out what is the energy that is around you, whether that's externally or internally. We're going to find out how this energy potentially is affecting you, if there's any energy you need to release, if there's any energy you need to invite or cultivate for your own highest good, and finally we'll get a message of wisdom from your guides, from your higher self. So if it is your first time here, hello, my name is Maureen. I'm a French tarot reader and a lover of all things tarot, oracle and self-empowerment related. So if you'd like to see any more of those things on your timeline, as well as videos around intuitive guidance, empowering tarot readings, and content where I share all the tools that can help you on your spiritual journey, then make sure to hit that subscribe button because I upload videos every single week. So if you don't know how pick a card reading works, in front of you, you're going to find 3 different piles. Each pile contains a different message, and all you need to do is decide intuitively which is the pile that is calling out to you the most. Today I have pulled different oracle cards that I have not yet seen, and if you watch any of my videos, you also know that I like to pull tarot cards on the go to get intuitive messages on the go, channel messages for you, so the reading is a lot more organic, and we'll be doing that as well. So in order to help you decide which is the pile that is calling out to you the most today, I have also some crystals that can help you pick. So for pile number 1, right here, this is pile number 1, you can also choose, thanks to this particular crystal, which is a flower agate. This is pile number 2, and for pile number 2 you can also choose, thanks to this amazonite crystal. And for pile number 3 you can choose pile number 3 or using this particular labradorite crystal. All you need to do is use your intuition or your inner knowing to decide which is the pile that is calling out to you the most. Once you've decided, you can head into the description box below. I will put timestamps that can take you straight to your reading. I always like to say that those kind of readings are always for the collective, so please use your intuition, please use your inner knowing to kind of decipher which is meant for you and which is not. The entirety of the reading might not resonate with your soul, and that is totally okay. You can trust into your own guidance. You can keep what resonates with you and just disregard the rest. Now, for anyone who would like a little bit more time to decide which is a pile that is the one for them, I will insert a very quick 30-second meditation video where you can take some deep breaths, release any physical tension you might be holding on to, and connect to the waves of your soul. For anyone else, you can head straight into the description box below to get to your reading, starting now. Okay, my pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 1 or this particular flower agate right there, then this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the introduction, today's reading is all about an energy checkup. So think of it as a weather report. When you can say, oh, it's sunny around here, or it's foggy, or there's rain, but instead of weather, events, we're talking about energy that's around you, that's in your life, that's within you, and how to best navigate that, and how you can kind of understand what's going on a little bit better in order for things to work for your highest good instead of feeling like things are working against you. So I have here some oracle cards that I have pulled. I've not looked at them yet. I like to have the surprise, just like the same as you, so I feel like that makes my readings a little bit more fluid. And we're going to be checking those oracle cards first, and of course we're going to be pulling some tarot cards. And if you're interested into any of the decks I'm mentioning, I always put the names of the decks I use in the description box below. Question we're asking is around what is the energy that is surrounding you right now, whether that's externally or internally. We want to find out a little bit more about the energy that's going on around you, what you're having to deal with at the moment, to help us understand a little bit what's going on in your life. So for that, I had pre-pulled 3 cards, and we're going to be checking them out. So the first one here, we have rumination, beautiful, and as you can see, Wow, this card is very detailed. Like, this particular oracle deck has a lot of very beautiful imagery, but there's a lot going on. So I feel like I need to bring that up closer for you so you can really appreciate everything that's going on. Beautiful. And we also have ghosts and creativity. Gorgeous. Okay, so in terms of the energy that is surrounding you, my pile number one, well, rumination, creativity, and ghost. Okay, so you're very much in the mental realm at the moment, my pile number one. There's a lot of, you know, with rumination, we're talking here about repetitive talk, repetitive self-talk, where we're overthinking about usually the past, overthinking about what has not worked, what we wished had happened, or overthinking about something we said or something we didn't say or something people did to us, etc. As well as potentially overthinking about the future, what we wish could happen, or, you know, what we want to happen, or worrying about what could happen. There's a lot of like what if and what did happen, and a lot of like kind of pulling your mental self-talk between like either the future or the past. And there's this idea of stretching here that I'm sensing. It's like the first thing I saw when I pulled all those cards was this elastic band that you've been stretching. At some point the elastic is gonna snap, and this is why obviously you've been, you know, attracted to this particular pile, is you don't want the elastic to snap. You want to make sure that you're taking care of your mental health, you're taking care of your energy, you're protecting your vibe, you're protecting yourself. And so I can sense that the energy has been a little bit of very much in the head. You're lacking a bit of groundedness, my pile number one. Maybe, you know, just spending a lot of time thinking, spending a lot of time ruminating, spending a lot of time wondering, worrying, questioning, puzzling and debating, and not a lot of time living. And that, you know, with the ghost, I can really sense that it's to do with the past. There's potentially, you're in a phase of your life right now where you have trouble laying down some of your past ghosts to rest. Maybe some of your old skeletons are coming back to knock on the closet door because you haven't paid that attention to them. And now it's time to actually deal with some of the past traumas, some of the past wounds, some of the past issues that you've been avoiding to deal with all this time. Now is the time to do a little bit of ghost buster action, my pile number one, where you look at those ghosts head on, those past demons, those past hurt, those past experiences that really keep on troubling you now. It is time to lay them to rest. It's time to do a little bit of a burial process. It's time to really grieve what has happened and move on, because you have this huge creativity energy that is trying to come in your life, my pile number one. You have ideas wanting to come in, new energy, new passion, new inspiration, just a new fresh lease of life. But if you spend all your energy worrying about what happened, having difficulty coming to terms with what happened, maybe you're still hanging on to an old version of yourself that is no longer resonating. Maybe you're still trying to hold on to people who are not meant to be in your life anymore. Maybe you're carrying on with a special relationship that is no longer good for you, but you're having trouble putting that to rest. You're having trouble letting go. You're ruminating a lot about what should I do, what should I not do, and that is not singing a song of creativity. You see, this card is like I told you at the beginning, there is a lot going on in this particular card. And we see this particular girl, she's singing a tune, and it's like there's stars and there's like seashells, and you know, and it feels like almost like all her memories. We have little kids here, we have someone riding, we have a town, we have like, you know, landscape and everything. It almost feels like all of her life's memory, the tune that she's singing to herself, relating to all of her life's memory. You need to now let go of all of that, let go of all those memories, or let go of all the emotional cords that are linked to those memories if those cords are dragging you down. It could be that for some of you it's related to painful old memories. For some of you, it could also be related to very joyous, happy memories, and now you're having trouble moving on from that because you feel like nothing will ever be as good as what was. Maybe you're, you know, hanging on to a time of your life where you were super happy, maybe you were healthier, maybe you were younger, maybe, well, you were younger, you know, unless you're Benjamin Button, let's face it, you were younger in the past, but maybe you were happier, maybe you were healthier, maybe you felt more in tune with yourself, maybe you felt more loved, maybe you felt more secure, and now in the present moment maybe things don't feel so, you know, loving and secured and nourishing, so you're over idealizing the past, and that also could have detriment for you, my pal number one. So there's really an idea here of, we see the energy is like needing to come back to the present moment so that you can let this creativity flow into your life. This particular card is also linked to your third eye chakra. We're here with the realm of, you know, with the purple card right here. So purple is linked to your third eye chakra, which is very much related to your intuition, following what your soul whispers to you, trying to tune out the brain, telling the, you know, the brain chit-chat to pause for a bit, maybe taking time for meditation, for introspection, for journaling or anything like that, even dream kind of journaling, everything where it's not the brain, your mental ego that is doing the main talking, but where you can tune back into your higher self, your soul, your intuition. This could bring a lot of insight, a lot of gold nuggets, my pal number one. Beautiful. Okay, let's pull the tarot cards just for like a little bit more of a message, and then we're gonna move on. See, we have the Two of Swords. There's not any more better example in tarot than the Two of Swords to represent rumination, to represent overly thinking. You see, this being is like, they have these swords are related to our thoughts, how we communicate, how we think, how we speak, how we intellectual things, how we, you know, think about concepts, etc. And so here this being is like debating between two sides and not knowing how to choose. But in order to really understand what is best for you, and in order to understand how to best move on, you need to close your eyes. And you know, we have this like band here that's covering this person's eye, because that is allowing them to get more in tune with their body and to kind of almost tune out the brain so they can go back into their soul. So with this Two of Swords here, there's definitely this reinforcement of the message that is around the energy that's going on in your life right now is very much about needing to tune out mental FM, you know, that inner radio that constantly can do our head in, coming back, laying down, you know, doing some ghost busting, like I was saying, laying down some of those old demons to rest so that you can let choices come in, so that you can let spontaneity come in, so that you can let creativity in your life. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna find out a little bit more now with those next cards, because now we're gonna find out how this particular energy is affecting you at this moment in time, how you're feeling, how are you doing. And in order to do that, I have four actually. So let's go, let's see. We have enlightenment, patience, and community. Beautiful. And then I was called to pull a soul card, which is a particular oracle that doesn't have any keywords, and it's all about really raw emotions, raw feeling. I don't really use this oracle deck very often for like camera readings, but I felt called to do that because it is very much, it's a very emotional deck, and so we'll see what image we get. And wow, beautiful. I love that. That's gorgeous. Let me bring it up for you. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let me put that here. Okay, well actually I can move that here. So we have community, patience, enlightenment, and this beautiful soul card right here. Okay, so how are you feeling? How is that particular energy we talked about affecting you? It's affecting you because it's disconnecting you from others, and you're sensing with this community card, I sense that for some of you, my pal number one, you are wanting to be more close to others. You're wanting to connect with others on a deeper level, whether that is on a friendship way, whether that is romantically, there is a sense here of really wanting to belong, but because you might be spending too much time in your head, it's kind of stopping you from really being in the present moment, and also allowing others to surprise you, or allowing others to see you for who you really are, or allowing others to really listen to you. If you are constantly overthinking about what others did to you in the past, you might have put some barriers up now for you know, letting and it might be scary for some of you to let people in, and so that might be how it's affecting you, my pile number one. Is like you might have trouble trusting people because some people you know, broke your boundaries in the past. Maybe they disrespected you, or maybe you actually have lost some people in your life that you now are idolizing, and you don't feel like anyone will be as amazing as they were. You know, there's two sides to that coin. So that's something that's coming through for this community. For patience and enlightenment, we definitely have this idea of this particular time is not a punishment, my pile number one. So even though you feel like maybe things are not going the way you want, maybe you feel like you don't know why you're constantly being brought back to certain memories or certain wounds or certain events is coming back to you at this present moment, it is because there is wisdom there to be had. It's because it's trying to teach you something. There is a lesson there that you haven't. If you were to look at that particular ghost, you would understand that there's a lesson there that you need to learn in order to move on. And it's also teaching you that things happen not always on your own timing. With this patience card, is letting me know that sometimes things happen on the universe's timing, on divine timing. There are things that are beyond us. There are things that are beyond our control. Call it karma, call it fate, call it destiny, call it whatever you want. If you're interested in astrology, I'm sure you know that, you know, depending on the planet's transit, there's bigger energies that affect all of us, and that can definitely have a certain effect on your life right now, and that could have been why you have been feeling very in your head and not so much back in your body, or a bit disconnected to that kind of creative side that is really trying to come through. With this beautiful soul card though, this card is like, I see someone feeling a little bit trapped. Maybe for some of you, you're feeling a little bit trapped, constrained, locked down. There's an idea here of wanting to escape, of wanting freedom, of wanting to break free, and but what's really coming as well is this, with this we have this beautiful white light here directly going straight into the person's crown. This is very much reminding me of crown chakra, and if you know anything about chakra, crown chakra is all about what is connecting us to the universe, to the divine. It is situated just on top of our head, so it's what's connecting us to, you know, the higher realm, things that are like beyond us. Call it the universe, call it spirit, call it the divine, call it whatever resonates with you personally, destiny, whatever. There's this idea here of being able to channel something that is from outside of you into a reality, to break out from your cage, maybe a cage that was put around you by others, or maybe a cage that you created yourself, my pile number one. You know, mental cages can definitely be something that we put ourselves in. Maybe sometimes we shrink ourselves to fit in places we're no longer meant to fit in. We shrink ourselves to fit in relationships that are actually not meant for us anymore, because we're scared that when we realize we're gonna be outgrowing, when we realize we've outgrown those relationships, those situations, those places, we don't know where we're going. And that kind of like idea of being pushed outside our comfort zone, it can be very scary. And so now we're going to be finding out what is the energy you need to release from your life. So we know a little bit what's going on, like, you know, energy that is surrounding you, how it's affecting you, maybe how you're feeling, but now we want to find out what the energy you need to release. Is there any particular energy you need to let go of? Okay, so let's pull some cards for that. Phoenix. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so Phoenix card. For me, this is, I'll bring it up. So the phoenix is always this symbol of resurrection, of coming back from the ashes, of having gone through something really traumatic and being able to like rise again. So for me, as this energy needing to be released, it is definitely bringing back to this idea that the past has too much of a strong hold onto you at this particular moment in time, whenever you're watching this video, my pal number one, the past is still having a very strong hold on you, and you are stuck in this idea that, you know, you're defined by what has happened to you. Yes, we all live through things, and that definitely can shape who we are, but we can decide to redefine who we are every single second of every day. If you went through something traumatic in your past, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a victim for the rest of your life. You can choose to not be a victim anymore mentally. Of course, you would then never erase what you've been through, and this is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about erasing all the trauma and the hurt that you've been through, but it's about redefining who you are as a person. You don't have to define yourself as a victim, or you don't have to define yourself as someone who gives up, or you don't have to define someone as a pessimist, or you don't have to define someone as a failure. Just because you failed in the past doesn't mean you're a failure now. Just because you were pessimistic in the past doesn't mean you should be pessimistic now. Just because you were jealous in the past doesn't mean you're a jealous person now. You know what I mean? There's this idea here of not being afraid to redefine yourself. This is definitely the energy that we need to release. We're gonna be pulling a tarot card to get confirmation around that. Yeah, see, we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, that is like very like it's just very appropriate. The Ten of Swords is very much the card that is letting us know when our mental dialogue, when our thoughts, when our communication with others or with ourselves have taken the best of us, so much so that it's literally made us feel like we've reached rock bottom, like we've dug ourselves in a hole so low that the only way now out of it is up. Like it's almost like you know, you've talked to yourself out of the worst, you've imagined the worst situation possible, you've created anxiety for yourself, you have made yourself feel so much worse by, you know, negative self-talk and creating stories and letting mental FM really dictate your life, your ego overtaking your intuition, to the point where it's like you feel like you are completely mentally exhausted and it's all too much. However, the Ten of Swords is also the idea of it can't get any worse. It really cannot. Now that you have kind of like gone through this huge mental journey of, you know, struggling and potential anxiety or depression or anything like that, there's this idea with the Ten of Swords that the only way now is up, and that now there's like the silver lining. It's like the clouds are parting and it's a fresh start. It's the last card of the sword suit, so you know there's the only thing now left is to go back to number one. So this is almost also signifying the end of letting your mind control you, the end of letting your ego you know, weigh you down, and so you really need to do some work around releasing those ghosts. Find the lesson that is lying in the pain, or find the lesson that is lying, you know, there, just and then release it and realize that you can redefine yourself as a new person now. You can rise up again, and you can definitely start a new cycle, a new life journey, and you can break free, my pal number one. That is very much what I'm hearing, breaking free. Now find out what is the energy that you need to invite or cultivate. And we have a jumper already, we have the Father card, and we have Tangled. Okay. So the energy you need to cultivate, the Father is really related to the divine masculine, so regardless of gender, you're invited to work on inviting more of the divine masculine into your life. And that has nothing to do with gender, again, that is, but everything to do with feeling active, feeling like we can go and get it, feeling like we can be empowered, we can be the magicians of our life. And so that's definitely something that you need to invite the divine masculine into your life, work with that archetype. With the Tangled card right here, it's also the idea of maybe inviting decisiveness into your life. Because we had the Two of Swords, you know, remember, maybe some of you were prone to overthinking everything, weighing the what if and whatnot, and, you know, overthinking about all the possible outcome. There's an idea here of actually inviting spontaneity and decisiveness so that you don't have to get tangled in your own thought, and so that you can make quicker decisions, and so that you can be okay with taking spontaneous decisions. Maybe some of you need to take a bit of risks, my pile number 1. There's nothing wrong with taking risks, and you know, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. You will survive. Like, it's an idea here of as long as your life is not in danger, then taking some risk can be very, very valuable for you. It could definitely help you make progress. It could help you invite creativity in. So there's a bit of a risk taking, being more adventurous, being more spontaneous kind of vibe as well coming through with those 2 cards in terms of what you need to cultivate or what you need to invite in your life. Let's pull a tarot card to get a bit more information around that. And we have the Star, see? So you are healed, my pile number 1. If you were worried about the past kind of happening again, if you were worried about anything traumatic coming back again, if you were worried about repeating past mistakes or not being able to achieve things that you've achieved in the past, whatever it is, the Star is coming through to let you know that you will manage, you will come through, you will soar, you will heal, you will thrive, you will be able to really start this new healing, nourishing time of your life. It's a time for being kinder to yourself, it's a time for being more nourishing with yourself, and it's a time to really reconnect with your soul. Your soul is there to try to tell you some lessons. It's there to try and invite you to make some more spontaneous decision, and it's there to kind of be your compass. So you really need to make sure that you listen to that and to your intuition, my pile number 1. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna wrap up the reading by pulling a little advice from last message from your guides. We'll see, this is called the Wisdom for Healing cards, and it's just a last message from your guides or your higher self, what they want you to know. And we have see God in all things. So if God doesn't resonate with you, you can use the universe, you can use spirit, the divine, mother nature, whatever, you know, whatever terms resonate with you. Because I know that particular term doesn't really vibe. I don't really vibe with the word God either, so you know, I appreciate that. Okay, the lesson for you is put yourself in slow motion and observe everything and everyone through the lens of this is sacred and it speaks to me. How does that change your environment? Your goal, to learn the spiritual practice of seeing God in all things. Beautiful. So this is all I'm seeing for you, my pile number 1. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't hesitate to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and it's a nice exchange of energy, especially if the reading brought you anything of value. I really appreciate it. And until my next video, as per usual, take care of yourself, and I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 2, or if you chose this particular Amazonite crystal right there, this is gonna be the reading for you. Amazonite crystal is linked to your throat chakra, and it's a crystal all around communication, speaking your truth, being able to share your words, share your wisdom, telling people how you feel, being more in tune with how you communicate with yourself or with others. So there might be a message there already for you. We're gonna see, you know, what the cards say. Like I said, I have pulled some tarot oracle cards that I have not yet seen. I like the surprise. I like to have a fluid reading with you, and I like it being spontaneous. I like to discover them at the same time as you do, but we'll also be pulling some tarot cards on the go, get some intuitive messages, intuitive guidance. I do that with all of my readings. If you watch any of my past readings, you know I like to pull tarot cards on the go as well. So we're gonna start. The first question, the first theme is around the energy that is surrounding you right now, whether that's externally or internally. The energy that you know, imagine a weather report, and if you think about someone telling you, oh, it's sunny today, or it's foggy, or it's cold, etc., this is kind of like the weather report for the energy for your life, an energy forecast, what is going on, so it can help us understand a little bit more for this energy checkup we're doing. So for that, I have quite a few cards, so we're gonna start by checking those out. Okay, so let's see. The first card we have is Listen to Your Body. So this is a French deck, but you know, this deck exists in English as well, so I'll translate the name for you. It says listen to your body, with this beautiful being here with a dragon on her back. That's gorgeous. And we also have those two cards that I have pulled, and we have comfort and intuition. Beautiful. Okay, so we have listened to your body, intuition, and comfort. So already that tells me that the energy that is surrounding you really is an energy that your physical reality has been at the forefront of your mind. My pile number one, there's been a lot of there's like this strong idea that either you're going through some health things that are forcing you to come back into your body, that are forcing you to listen to your body's needs, that are forcing you to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. You could also be having some physical symptoms that are linked to other issues, like for example feeling, you know, like tense stomach pain, etc., that is linked to anxiety, or you know, things where it's like your body is definitely trying to convey some messages to you, my pile number two, at this moment, that you need to listen. And your body is linked to your intuition. Your body is a messenger, and it's your job, you know, as you're living this life, to listen to what your body is trying to tell you and to understand what it's trying to tell you, because a lot of the times the body is a way of pointing us towards things that are deeper, that are more soul related, and our body finds ways, by either not working the way it used to, by showing up with pain or symptoms, or you know, anything like that. It's trying to call your attention to something that is usually deeper. It could also be that some of you have not been paying attention to gut feelings you have, to butterflies in your stomach, to your hair is on the top of your hands raising when you're around certain people, when you're around certain situations, feeling more tense or feeling more relaxed. And those are all ways your intuition could be trying to talk to you as well. And so this is definitely, I sense this here as heeding the call of your body, heeding the call of your material messenger, and hearing also the message your intuition is trying to provide with you at this moment in time. And also prioritizing, we have comfort card here, so it's prioritizing self-care, prioritizing activities around pampering, treating yourself, feeling good in your body, self-love. Accepting your body could also be a big theme right now in your life. Maybe some of you, you know, are having a little bit of a harder time right now to accepting your physical appearance. That could be something that you need to work on. But this is definitely the theme we are seeing for the energy surrounding you right now, my pile number two. Let's pull the tarot cards to get a little bit more, if there's anything else, any kind of other information around the energy. Look, we have the Two of Swords. This card already jumped for another one of my pile. I won't tell you which one in case you watch two piles, or you know, all three. That's cool. We have the Two of Swords. So there's, with the Two of Swords, it's all about realizing that with the Two of Swords, we're in the realm of the swords being related to communication, to thoughts, to the intellect, to the brain, to the ego, the mental realm. Here, the Two of Swords is asking you to kind of tune out the white noise that your brain could be telling you, to try and make a certain decision. You might be standing at a certain crossroad in your life, my pile number two, and you're having to make a choice. And in order to help you make that choice, you need to listen to your intuition and listen to your body. How do you feel when you project yourself in this particular situation? How do you feel when you imagine yourself in this job, in this career, with this romantic partner, in this new house, in this particular new feature, like with the friends you have, or with your colleagues? Like, how does it make you feel physically? How do you feel? Do you feel at ease? Do you feel tense? Do you feel like you have stomach ache? Do you have headaches? Do you feel tired? What is your body trying to tell you when you are in certain situations? Because there might be some things there that are not necessarily good for you, that you need to realize your body is like giving you signs of warning. It could also be complete opposite, that your body is trying to tell you that some people are actually really great for you. You might have doubts about them because maybe they're new in your life, or maybe you don't really trust them, or maybe you have your guard up, or maybe you have a tough time really letting your guard down, trusting people. And you know, just especially if you're like looking for a new romantic partner, and you might be going on some dates with some people, and you have a little bit of trouble opening up, your body might be actually giving you some signals that, hey, actually I feel comfortable with this person, like I feel at ease, I feel chilled. Listening to what your body is trying to tell you, listening to what your intuition is trying to tell you, figuring out where are you comfortable, where are you feeling good, what makes you feel nourished, what makes you feel loved, and also needing to take a certain decision. I feel like some of you are at a time in your life where they have to make a certain decision. Like I said, I see a crossroad, and you need to make a choice, and I'm hearing that there won't be any bad choices, so don't feel like you might make the wrong choice. There will not be a wrong choice, but you do need to make a choice. Okay, so let's now find out how this energy is affecting you, how it's making you feel, how is it affecting you emotionally or spiritually, physically, in your life. You know, we want to find out a little bit more information, and so we're gonna check out those next oracle cards. So I've got 2 oracle cards here, and I also pulled a soul card, which is an oracle with no keywords. I felt cool to do that. I use that deck a lot for myself. I don't use it a lot for readings, but for this particular reading, I don't know why, I felt really cool to use it. So let's check this out. Wow, look at that. Okay, so beautiful. So this particular deck, like I mentioned, it doesn't have any keywords, but look at this image, it's so powerful. And see how this person's belly is burning. We have a burning fire in the belly, in the 3rd eye chakra, and then we have this kind of DNA almost kind of spiral on both sides. Beautiful. Okay, so you know, when we said the body sends signals, like this is one of them, and here I see fire, I see burning passion, and you know, we have the 3rd eye chakra that is literally lit with this fire. So this is going back to your intuition here, telling you, please listen to what I'm trying to tell you, please take time for introspection, take time for silence, take time for going back within, so that you can hear what I'm trying to tell you about this certain person or this certain situation or this certain relationship. There's also here an idea of an inner burning fire, inner burning desires that is trying to come out. So you know, that could be also, you might be feeling like excited about the prospect of the future. Some of you might be excited about this new like this new passion, this new energy coming into your life. It could be a fresh release of energy physically. You might have gone through some health issues, and finally you're feeling more like yourself, you're feeling more alive, more ready to conquer the world. Let's check out those 2 cards, and we have freedom and illumination. Okay, so how this energy is affecting you because it's teaching you to release anything that is holding you down, and it's teaching you to fly, my pile number 2. It's teaching you to kind of like rise above what has potentially been troubling you before, and decide that you don't need to be held back anymore, that you can that you're free to make the choices you need to make. This is what I'm hearing. This whole energy, this whole vibe is really, especially with this 2 of Swords here, is coming back to the idea that you are free to make the choices you want. Nobody but you knows what is good for you, and you need to realize that the only person that can tell you what to do is yourself. But you need to make sure to take time for introspection, for silence, for reconnecting with yourself, so that you can hear what your soul, your body, your inner fire is trying to tell you, because that will allow you to make the right choices for you. Like I said, there's no bad choices, but there might be choices that make you more free, and definitely in every choice that you make there will be a lesson there. We have the illumination card letting me know that you know, there's like a lesson to be had, there's some illumination happening, there's some leveling up, some soul growth you're going through, personal development, epiphanies. This is what I'm hearing. So a very, very beautiful energy for my pile number 2. I'm excited for you. This is all very exciting. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to be finding out what is the energy you need to release. Is there any kind of energy that you need to let go of, that is not working for you anymore, that is kind of dragging you down, and that is stopping that leveling up, that soul growth, that is stopping you from going from the crossroad to the path that is meant for you? Let's pull a card and find out. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in any of the decks I'm using, I always put the names of the decks I use in the description box below, so you can always find out, especially because today I'm using quite a lot. You'll find all of that in the description box. And we have Distill. Okay, so that's very interesting. concept and very interesting energy. So the energy you need to let go of, my pile number 2, we have distill. So distill is about dissecting almost, processing, dissecting, and then narrowing it down so that you only keep the best, right? So that you only keep the gold out of it, so that you only keep the finest nectar, the finest pollen. That's kind of like my very basic translation of it will be. So with this distill card as the energy that you need to release, there's an idea here of letting life surprise you. The first thing I heard was you don't have to have everything figured out before you make a decision, and maybe letting go of the idea that things need to be perfect before you can take a first step. Let me say that again, because I feel like that's definitely what you need to hear, is letting go of the idea that you need everything to be perfect before you can take the first step. You don't have to wait till absolutely everything is distilled, until you've processed mentally everything, you've worked out all the outcomes, you've weighed the plus and the minus, everything like that, before you make a choice, before you take a step, before you take a risk, my pile number 2. Sometimes it is better to just go and then think later. Ask us Aries. We will tell you how to do that. We're very good at doing things first and then thinking about it later. That's just, you know, I'm an Aries, so I can talk shit about Aries, it's okay. And it's true, we are very good at that. So here, with the energy you need to release is maybe your strive for perfection, maybe your strive for having everything figured out, and maybe your idea that you waiting for the perfect moment, because guess what, there might not be a perfect moment. Maybe the perfect moment happens once you start something, once you give it a go, once you try, then maybe that will invite the perfect moment in. Let's pull another card to find out a little bit more about that energy you need to release. See if anything is coming through for you. And we have temperance. See, so temperance is all about weighing, plus, minus, weighing two sides, alchemizing, trying to find the perfect alchemy, trying to find the perfect balance. You know, it's, you know, temperance is all about finding the perfect equilibrium. And so here there's this sense of letting go of that, because letting go of waiting for things to be perfectly balanced, perfectly stable, perfectly worked out. Because sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we have to really take our time, find the perfect balance, find the perfect timing, work everything out. And sometimes we just have to rush into things, go for it, and think about it later. You are supported, my pile number 2. So remember, I said there is no wrong choices. You just need to make a choice. You need to take a step. We have this particular in this card, you have someone helping you pour. So this is like your guides, your higher self, your ancestors, whatever you believe in. They're there to help you. And right now they're saying like, release that need for perfection, release that need for perfect timing, release that need for waiting for the right time, and really listen to your body, listen to your intuition, listen to that soul inner knowing, so that that will tell you when to move. But you need to move, you know, you need to move. Movement is life, so you can't be like suspended in this void for ages. Like, it's time to move out of it, it's time for change. Okay, let us see now what is the energy you need to cultivate, or the energy you need to invite in your life. Now we know what you need to release. Let's see what you need to invite. And we have dreamer, see? So taking risk, dreaming for new things, not being afraid to reach for what you think could be impossible. Like, there is no such thing as being impossible. Dream big. Don't be afraid to go and use your intuition to try new things, to be spontaneous, to go after your dreams, to really use that sacral chakra, solar plexus energy, to go after what you want and to manifest, even if things feel impossible, even if things feel crazy, even if you're scared that people will judge you, they will tell you it's not possible, you can't do it. If your intuition is telling you you can do it, my pile number 2, you really can. So you need to invite a more of a self-confidence, dreamer, manifesting kind of energy. I sense magician kind of vibe from this, you know, magician from the tarot. We'll see, but that's kind of what's coming through. Let's pull a Ace of Pentacles, yeah, so you're planting the seeds for your new reality. You want to really start thinking about what you want to manifest in your life, my pile number 2. You want to start planting the seeds for your dreams. What house do you want to live in? What job do you want to go after? What finances do you want to have? What health journey, what health habits, what day-to-day habit, what does your dream life look like? That's one question you need to ask yourself. You need to write it down, and then you need to plant the seeds so that you can make that life a reality. And just start, try it, give it a go. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Guess what? There'll be a lesson there anyway. But you need to just start planting those seeds, tending to that garden, manifest what you want, my pile number 2. Beautiful. Okay. I love this reading. It's very... I'm loving all the cards, a lot of energy, it's really great. So to wrap up the reading, I'm going to be pulling one final advice from your guides, from your higher self, and we're going to see. We have break negative habits. Beautiful. Be cognizant of one negative practice you engage in that causes you to lose power, and work on changing that situation. This could be thinking negative thoughts, overeating, or being constantly late. Your goal to recognize that modifying or releasing unproductive habits can be challenging and even unpleasant, but it's essential that you do so. Beautiful. So, my pile number 2, this is all I'm seeing for this quick energy reading. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't hesitate to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and it's a nice exchange of energy, especially if the reading brought you anything of value. You can also leave me a comment below. I love to hear from you. And until my next video, as per usual, I am sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 3, or if you chose this labradorite crystal right here, then this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the introduction, today we're doing an energy checkup, and I have pulled some oracle cards that I have not yet seen. I pull them, but I don't look at what they are. I pull them face down so that I can discover them along with you. I like the surprise. I like to have a fluid reading. I like to be surprised and have the reading at the same time as you. And if you've watched any of my previous reading, you know I also always love to pull tarot cards on the go, so we can get intuitive guidance and channel messages on the go. So I'll be doing that as well. But first, let us check. The first kind of question I've asked when I pulled this card was, what is the energy surrounding you right now? So whether that's external or internal. You know, if you think about a weather report, you think about someone announcing it's sunny today, or it's cold, or it's foggy. We want to find out what is the weather report energy-wise for your life. Is it sunny right now? Is it raining? Is it cold? Is it hot? We want to find out what is the energy surrounding you, and for that we're going to be checking the first cards I pulled. So let us check those. I'll put that here for now. And I have 3 oracle cards. So let's check the first one, and we have let yourself be free. Free yourself, I guess you could say. This is a French deck, but this deck exists in English, so I'm just translating it for you. If you're interested in any of the decks I use today, I always put the names of the decks I use in the description box below. Today I'm using quite a lot, and I usually use quite a lot of decks in my reading, but I always put the names of them in the description box. Okay, so we have free yourself. Beautiful. This is a beautiful card. This particular oracle card is so detailed. There's so much going on with every single card. We have this kind of person reading and daydreaming, and it's just very beautiful. And then we have someone else right here. Can you see? Also looking like they're dreaming and thinking. Beautiful. So we have free yourself, and then we have love. Wow, gorgeous. And space. Okay, very interesting. Well, this love card is taking a lot of space. You see the colors, the vibe, it's already like it's very much glowing in the middle of those 2 cards. So I can sense that for my pile number 3, love in all of its form, whether it's romantic, friendship, family, self-love, that is definitely at the forefront of your life right now. It's a big theme, it's a big, issue, or it's a big general energy that is definitely at the forefront of your life right now, my pile number 3. And it's interesting that it's like squeezed in between this free yourself and this space card. So for my pile number 3, I can sense that there is an idea here that you have some burdens that you need to let go of. You need to, this is giving me 8 of Cups vibe from the tarot, where it's all about letting go of emotional burdens, letting go of energetic cords, and really freeing yourself. But so a lot of the time we talk about freeing ourselves from mental patterns, daily habits, things, how we think, how we process things, how we communicate, etc. With you, my pile number 3, I sense it's more of an emotional release. It's maybe having a good cry so that you can let go of certain emotions you've been having, or maybe you need to journal about certain how you're feeling so that you can let go of the weight of those emotions and how they're kind of like burdening you. What I'm sensing is that there's some new people or new people, new relations that are waiting to join you in your life, that are waiting to be a part of your life. But if you are overspending your time thinking about past relationships, past friendships, past events, past wounds, past trauma, you won't be able to welcome that new energy, that new love in your life. So you need to make space, my pile number 3. You need to declutter your emotions, you need to declutter your life as well. For some of you, there's a sense with this free yourself and space. There's this huge idea around decluttering. There is this idea of like making room for the new, like disregarding anything that no longer, you know, serves you. There's this like, what is it, like this woman that does all the decluttering videos and stuff on Netflix. It's like, whatever doesn't spark joy in your life, cut that shit off. I'm sure she doesn't say exactly that, but that's the idea, right? There's this idea of if something isn't useful to you or isn't bringing you joy, then it needs to go. Because, you know, it's like you don't have time for carrying on things that are just weighing you down. You don't have time for carrying objects that are related to old, that make you think of troubling times. Like maybe your house is full of stuff that you don't use and it's making you feel cluttered, it's making you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you need to do a good spring cleaning and getting rid of stuff. Or maybe it is in your life. You need to cut cord with some people that are making you feel bad, that are making you feel small, that are making you feel less than, and you need to maybe get rid of those people from your life. And realize, okay, well, you know what, we are coming to a certain crossroad now and we're each gonna go our separate ways. Let's pull a tarot card to get a little bit more information on that, but already we have this very idea here of needing to releasing some burden, breaking some chains, opening the cage, freeing yourself from energetic cords, from dense energy. And see, we have the Fool, so there's definitely a whole new life cycle at your doorstep. All you need to do is make sure there is space in your suitcase so that you can go and explore and that you can go and get new things on that new life journey. If you go on holiday and your suitcase is full, then you don't have space to buy souvenirs on the holiday you go. You don't have space to buy stuff to bring back, right? So it's the same idea with life. If you're starting a new life journey and you're like spiritually, emotionally, physically already full up, too full, overwhelmingly full by all the things that have already happened to you, you won't have time to welcome in that new energy. You won't have time to welcome in that new relationship, that new friendship, that new experience, that new lesson. So the Fool is coming here to promise. It's a promise of a new chapter. It's a promise of a new future. It's a promise of a new life cycle. If only you make space in your suitcase and open the door. There's 2 things that are required for you when you go on holiday. You need to get to the airport or whatever. You need to leave your house. Otherwise, you know, it's a staycation. You're not really going anywhere. So you need to leave your house. So it's a new chapter. And you need to have some space in your suitcase if you want to bring stuff back. That's usually, you know, how it works. So you need to, if you don't even want to bring anything back, you need to make sure you have space on your camera so that you can take pictures. If even your camera, your memory card is full of all your previous memories of your previous stuff, then you won't even be able to take on new pictures to, you know, of the place you've been to. You know what I mean? I don't know what is going on with this particular metaphor. This is what your guides are giving me today, so we're going on with it. But I think you get the gist, you get the idea. So, beautiful Fool card, by the way. Let's now find out how is this energy affecting you. And I've got some oracle cards here, and I was also called to pull a soul card, which is a particular oracle that doesn't have any keywords, it's just paintings. I normally only use this reading for this oracle for myself, but I was called to use it today for you, so you know, we'll see what you get. Let's find out. And we have this beautiful painting. Wow, look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, so how is this energy affecting you? See how this person is like starting to want to get into this new... I see this as like someone trying to go into this new reality. It's like they've just shoved their hands in. It looks like a portal, right? You know what those portals in, like, if you watch any sci-fi movies or anything like that, there's portals that can take you like somewhere else. They can teleport you. That's what it's reminding me of. And this person is like putting their hands in the portal, but not their whole body yet. It's like they want to get to that new space, they want to get to that new place, but there's something that's like stopping them from committing fully. They've only put their hands in, they don't want to put their whole body yet. This is potentially how you're feeling, my pile number 3. It's like this idea of like a bit of resistance to change. Maybe you're scared to go outside your comfort zone. But let's find out with those two. And look, we have potential and taking risks. Yeah. So, okay. That makes sense. So how is it affecting you? It is definitely getting in the way. This kind of resistance to change, resistance to commit, resistance to try new things, resistance to declutter, resistance for fresh start. It's getting in the way of you, of this potential for a new life, of this potential for a new chapter, of this potential for this new energy. This card is so beautiful. It's like some kind of like dormant volcano, and volcanoes are powerful. While it sleeps, it doesn't look like much, it just looks like a mountain, but once it erupts, let me tell you, it's powerful. I live on a volcanic island, like I know. The volcano is like, you know, so is perfect symbolism of potential. So you're a sleeping volcano right now, my pile number 3. There's this huge burst of fresh life energy, fire, passion that's waiting to come out, but it won't come out until you free yourself from certain burdens. That is also affecting you in the sense that it's stopping you from being spontaneous, stopping you from taking risk, so that you can soar through. We have the eagle here. The eagle is a symbol of keeping a vision, of like seeing things from the bigger picture, of having very full vision, of 360 vision, not being so over focused on the minute details, but seeing things from a higher perspective, being able to look at things like from a whole. So maybe you need to take some perspective, my pile number 3. Maybe you need to stop, look at the tiny little details and embrace more the bigger picture. What dreams, what life are you trying to create, and not be so bogged down about the what if, about the being uncomfortable. If you think about moving house, for example, then maybe it would be the idea of needing to not start by packing the tiny things, but start to figure out how you're going to pack your fridge, your bed, and your wardrobes, because they're going to take a lot of space. And once you know how you're going to fit that in a truck, then it'll be so much easier to find out how you're going to fit your vase, your tarot deck, and your clothes, you know. So it's about looking at the big picture first, looking at the bigger things first, so that you can then commit fully to your next chapter, my pile number 3. What is the energy that you need to release? So either any energy you need to let go of, any energy you need to release from your life, something that is no longer working for your highest good. We have wisdom, interesting. And we have emboldened, yeah, so see this like Icarus kind of, you know the myth of Icarus? In Greek mythology, he invented, he wanted to get close to the sun, so he invented wings, but when he got too close to the sun, the wings melted and he fell into the sea. This is what you need to release. So it's your fear of falling in the sea, my pile number 3, metaphorically. Your fear that if you create wings, if you soar through, and look, we had the free here, we had the eagle here, and so with it, again, we have wings here. There's this idea of you need to really release your fear that if you soar through, if you take risks, if you start new, if you go outside your comfort zone, you're gonna fall into the ocean and it's gonna be a huge failure, because that's not true. And this fear of success, this fear of failure, it's, you know, For some of you, it's going to be fear of success. For some of you, it's going to be fear of failure. You need to let go of that. And you need to also let go of the idea that you know everything. Pile number 3. That's hard. Sometimes we feel like we've figured everything out and we've, you know, made our assessments, we've worked everything out, and we've, you know, we kind of know what we're doing, and so we feel wise. We feel like, oh, you know what, I've definitely made the right decision now. I'm a wise master and I've decided that I am perfectly fine where I am. It's comfortable and it is wise for me to stay put. Guess what? It's not. You need to take some risks. You need to be spontaneous. You need to start this new chapter of your life. You need to invite change. So you need to let go of this idea that you know everything, and you need to invite in spontaneity, invite surprises. The universe can surprise you, and sometimes surprises are not necessarily bad. I feel like some of you are like almost waiting for the other shoe to drop, so you'd rather stay where you are because you feel like going outside your comfort zone is just gonna mean that you're gonna be getting some shit, whereas actually sometimes the universe can definitely surprise you, and it's usually in those moments that the biggest blessings can happen. And that's what you need to release, my pile number 3. As well as we've already talked, there's a need for decluttering here, whether it's physical, emotional, emotional decluttering for sure. We have the Knight of Cups, so cups relating to our emotion. It's decluttering this kind of like, maybe also letting go of this like overly romanticized view of life. For some of you, that could be getting in your way. Maybe that's what's stopping you from inviting love in your life. Maybe you feel like you have this idealization of people, and so it's stopping you from committing to a real relationship. For some of you, that's a very specific message, so it won't apply to everyone, but you know, if it resonates with you, it resonates with you. Generally speaking, it's going back to this idea of emotional release. Anyone who's making you feel belittled, anyone who's making you feel judged, then they don't have a place in your life anymore. And it doesn't make you selfish for wanting to protect your peace. Actually, it makes you very empowered, and it is what could be, you know, starting this fresh new cycle, this soul evolution, this new growth, and that's beautiful. Okay, let's now find out what is the energy you need to cultivate or invite into your life, my pile number 3. And we're gonna pull a card for that. So the energy you need to cultivate, exceed. Okay, so you need to invite this energy of, we have this beautiful unicorn here. For me, the unicorn is a symbol of magic. So inviting magic in your life, inviting miracles, inviting the ideas that good things can happen to you, inviting the ideas that you can expect miracles, inviting the idea that things can be magical, things don't have to be safe, things can be extra beautiful, things don't have to be just fine, things can be marvelous. And there's no such thing as being too much. You can't be too much you. So if some of you have been repressing parts of you, trying to fit in with people and situations that, you know, are no longer resonating with you, are no longer good for you, you making space and releasing that will allow you to be even more yourself, more unique, more shining from the inside, more unapologetically beautifully you. So you really need to channel the unicorn energy here and be who you're meant to be, and not be afraid to literally be unapologetically yourself, my pile number 3. This is very much what I'm hearing, and the energy you need to invite. You're gonna, let's pull a tarot card to see, but I'm very much hearing like, don't be afraid to be too much. There's no such thing as being too much. And look, we have the High Priestess here. With the High Priestess, there's this huge kind of message here that's letting you know you need to heed your intuition. You need to take time for introspection, for meditation, for listening to what your soul is trying to tell you, shutting out the brain a little bit more and inviting more connection with your guides, connection with the universe, connection with your ancestors, connection with your higher self. That kind of mysterious, magical, otherworldly realm is trying to communicate with you, is trying to get in touch with you. So you need to invite that in your life, invite the divine, invite spirit, invite the universe, invite magic in your life. Only blessings will come of it. Only this is how you can start this new chapter. This is very much the energy you need to invite, my pile number 3. Magic, the divine spirit. The universe is wanting to co-create with you, but you need to make sure that you're willing to do that, and you need to open yourself up, make space for it, and be willing, be open to the universe flooding into your life with love, with abundance, with compassion, with healing. So let's wrap up the reading with an advice, last advice from your guides, from your higher self. We'll see if there's kind of like any last message they have for you. We have noticed subtle changes. Okay, that's interesting. And it says, today's lesson, color is power. Select a color you don't normally wear and introduce that into your wardrobe. This changes the energy in your field, including your sense of self. Your goal, to discover how subtle changes can increase or decrease your comfort level. Interesting, because we talked about, you know, freeing yourself and inviting new energy in. So maybe you can start with inviting confidence and all of that by wearing a certain color, and maybe changing how you dress, maybe changing how you even paint your nails. You know, it can start small, but that's a very interesting lesson, and that's very beautiful. So this is what I'm seeing for you, my pile number 3. I really hope you enjoyed today's reading. If you did, don't hesitate to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and it's a nice exchange of energy, especially if the reading brought you anything of value. And until my next video, as per usual, I am sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!